Hi, my name is Tom Kitch. I like to sing one of the most popular songs by the Rolling Stones, written by Mick Jagger and Keith Richards, and it's Jumpin' Jack Flash from the year 1968. The Rolling Stones, formed in 1962, still around today in 2019, 57 years. I was born in a crossfire hurricane, and I howled at my ma in the driving rain. But it's all right now. In fact, it's a gas, but it's all right. I'm jumping Jack Flash. It's a gas, gas, gas. I was raised by a toothless, bearded hag. I was schooled with a strap right across my back. But it's all right now. In fact, it's a gas, but it's all right. I'm jumping Jack Flash. It's a gas, gas, gas. I was drowned, I was washed up and left for dead. I fell down to my feet and I saw they bled. Yeah, yeah. And I frowned at some crumbs from a crust of bread. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was crowned with a spike right through my head. Through my head. But it's all right now. In fact, it's a gas, but it's all right. I'm jumping Jack Flash. It's a gas, gas, gas. Jumping Jack Flash. It's a gas. Jumping Jack Flash. It's a gas. Jumping Jack Flash. It's a gas. Jumping Jack Flash, it's a gas. Jumping Jack Flash, it's a gas. Jumping Jack Flash, it's a gas. Jumpin' Jack Flash from the Rolling Stones. Now, this is George. He holds stuff for me. Thank you, George, for holding that. Here's a book, The Fatal Shore. It's about the founding of Australia, written by Robert Hughes. You can tell I like books because there's books everywhere. And I'm thinking, like, who is Jack Flash? He could be like Tom Clinch. I'm Tom Kitch. Could easily have been Tom Clinch 250 years ago. 1787, they started to export British convicts to settle in Australia rather than hanging them, which they used to do at Tyburn in London, from Newgate Prison to Tyburn in London. And a lot of these boys, like Jumpin' Jack Flash, Tom Clinch, they went to the gallows, but they went dressed as dandies. They dressed up, and the crowds cheered them and threw flowers to them. I'm going to read you this. This is on page 53 of this book, so get it. The Fatal Shore, Robert Hughes. The idea that condemned men could draw solace and support from the crowd at their hangings offends our deepest sense of propriety about death. It seems unspeakably grotesque. Nevertheless, they did. There are many accounts of young men setting forth to Tyburn, that's the gallows, the Tyburn coach, dressed like bridegrooms, in new white suits, emblematic of innocence, ribbons fluttering from their hats, posies in their white-gloved hands, cockily saluting a crowd that showered them, not with dead rats and cabbages, but with fruits and flowers in tribute to their passing. This was a common enough sight for Swift, Jonathan Swift, to take for granted. This is Jonathan Swift's writing. As clever Tom Kitch, sounds like Tom Kitch, as clever Tom Clinch, while the rabble was bawling, rode stately through Holborn to die in his calling. He stopped at the George for a bottle of sack. He stopped and somebody gave him some liquor. And promised to pay for it when he came back. He's not coming back. His waistcoat and stockings and breeches were white. His cap had new cherry ribbon tied to it. The maids in the doors and in the balconies ran and said, "Lackaday, he's a proper young man." But is from the windows the ladies he spied, like a bean in a box. He bowed low on each side. So here we have these young men who probably did nothing more than steal somebody's pocket watch, being sentenced to death, being hung. And that's the way I envision Jumping Jack Flash. You know, British society was so unfair. The lords and the ladies had the best of everything, and everyone else just groveled in poverty. The world of Charles Dickens, Oliver Twist, David Copperfield. And in Europe it was the same way. With Victor Hugo's book Les Miserables, we talk about Jean Valjean being sentenced to prison for stealing a loaf of bread. In these awful times in the 1800s. It's not so bad today. That's good. That's called socialism and welfare, and it's taking care of the poor people who are otherwise just, when they were apprehended for theft, they were hung. But then the idea was to settle Australia with convicts. And it started in 1787, the time of George III. So anyhow, it's an interesting book, The Fatal Shore, Robert Hughes. I recommend it. And if you like my singing, my name is Tom Kitch, T-O-M-K-I-T-C-H. Not Tom Clinch, Tom Kitch, T-O-M-K-I-T-C-H. You can write to me on a computer at tomkitchmusic@yahoo.com, all small case letters. Or you can send me a picture postcard from your hometown or from anywhere on the road to my P.O. Box 81442, San Diego, California, 92138, United States of America.